Moving homes is exciting, whether saving for years to buy your first property or renting your first apartment after moving out of your parents' basement. However it applies to you, moving is a big occasion. However, some homes aren't as exciting as others. Some come with a dark past or secrets that lay unearthed, and some hold former tenants that refuse to leave. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, we're going to be counting down the top 5 scary discoveries made in people's houses. Before we begin, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Let's jump in. In at 5, hundreds of bats. This is one of my worst nightmares, moving into a new home and discovering it is completely infested with bats. And that is exactly what happened to Calvin O'Shoey, who purchased a home in Whitehorse and after only 2 months discovered he was not the only one living there. The bats were found to be in the attic, walls, and even the ceiling. Calvin worked tirelessly to seal the house so no other bats could gain entry, but what's worse is that every winter bats migrate south. However, they also return to the same spot every single year. Eventually, Calvin had no choice but to build a sanctuary outside of his home in hopes that the bats would decide to reside there instead. Coming in at number 4, green corpse. This discovery comes from a couple who had just moved into a New York apartment and noticed a terrible smell coming from one of the cupboards. So, of course, they decided to investigate. And what they discovered was truly disturbing. Wrapped in a shower curtain, they found a dead body, as well as a note from the victim's killer. The note also apologized for the smell, so that's nice. The body was that of Sydney Harris, a 64-year-old ex-con who was the previous tenant. To make matters worse, the building manager had only decided to rent out the property after Sydney had disappeared for a while, offering up the apartment to the couple on the condition that they clear it out before they move in. In at number 3, trapdoor. Well, this would just be bloody terrifying. Imagine moving into a new home and discovering a trapdoor in the basement, leading down into the earth below. Yep, that's exactly what happened to a Redditor who claimed the trapdoor led into an 8-foot by 4-foot wide cement well that was filled with water, yet there were no pipes, making the trapdoor oddly suspicious. The Redditor later filled in the well with stones and eventually sold the house. The trapdoor, however, has never been explained. Coming in at number 2, mummified body. This would be every new homeowner's worst nightmare, moving into a new pad only to discover that the old tenants are still there, just no longer living. After a house owner failed to pay their mortgage, the bank repossessed the house and sold it in an auction, entered the dead body. The bank didn't inspect the house before selling it, so the new owner stumbled across the body of the previous owner, who had died of natural causes, hence why she was no longer paying her bills. The body had been preserved by the salty air in the seaside town, causing it to mummify. According to neighbors, the previous owner had been in bad health and she rarely had any visitors. It's kind of sad, no one should have to die alone, and no one should have to find a mummified body in their new home. Spitting facts here. Finally, in at number 1, frozen body. In a newly purchased home on Bainbridge Ave in Fordham Manor, a contractor named Tony Abedian made an unfortunate and grisly discovery: a frozen body. Yep. Poor Tony discovered a lifeless corpse that he had initially believed to be sleeping, but oh boy was he wrong. The body had been frozen with injuries on the face and the head, yet no one can give an accurate cause or time of death. According to neighbors, the house had been unoccupied for a year, yet there was frequent activity in and around the house, particularly homeless people and drug users. However, no one ever thought to call the police. Weird. Well, there we have it. What did you guys think? Did these scary discoveries spook you? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our previous videos. Top 5 scary demons from mythology. Technical Hub said, one of the best families in YouTube. Glad to be a part. Keep rocking Top 5 scary videos. Thanks Technical Hub, we're glad you're a part of the family too. Rudolph said, Lucy being scared of almost everything, talking about scary shit. Therapy advice, or are you just into some weird fear fetish? I guess a little bit of both. I'm scared of everything, and I probably should go to therapy. And finally, Leonard Jordan said, Lucy, you're an absolute legend. Love your style. Never a dull moment with you. To be mentioned by your fine self would be a fine pleasure. Well, there you go, Leonard. There's a fine shout out for your fine self. Enjoy. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.